Ooh, I almost dropped the camera. Okay. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Jessie. Today I'm going to be telling you all about the time my cousin almost caught Jaws.
Make the ground shake.
Before all of this started, I just want to let you guys know, the other side of my family that I went on the trip with, they normally go on this trip together annually. This all occurred last year, and that last year I was invited to go along with them. I'm more of a bass angler. I had no prior knowledge to saltwater fishing whatsoever. The night before going on the trip, my family told me that I needed to take Dramamine, which allows your body to kind of overcome motion sickness and stuff like that. I'm not really prone to motion sickness. This wasn't a really dire need for me, but I did it as I was told anyway. I took Dramamine before I went to bed, and then when I woke up the next morning to actually go out on the boat. I think I got all of 2 hours of sleep because I was so excited to go on this trip. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go out to this charter that was about 45 minutes, maybe an hour away from where we were staying at. So prior to actually getting on the boat, once we got to the dock, my family explained to me that the boat that they normally go on was currently having a lot of problems, and so they couldn't use that charter. So they had to actually use another charter boat, which was a lot smaller than usual. That being said, we got onto the boat, we waited a few minutes for some other friends to join us on the trip. We are driving out into the middle of the ocean for 2 hours, so you can't see land. Let me just rephrase that. 2 hours, so all you can see is a bunch of blue around you. Going into this though, it was so intimidating. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a whole new world for me.
Stop it. Get some help.
So we're driving 2 hours in the middle of nowhere. A lot of the family members are sleeping. I have my cousin sleeping on my arm. Everyone was sleeping on the boat, and then until the people who were running the charter found a really good spot for us to start fishing. Immediately started baiting everyone's hooks. I mean, everyone's rods were baited. They were casted out for us, changing the bait as we kept fishing. They did absolutely everything for us. And me being a bass angler, I had never been in that kind of situation. I was like, they are doing everything for me. All I literally have to do is sit here with this rod and wait. The first hour, I guess so, of fishing, I was not catching squat. All of my other family members were like, oh, I'm on my 4th black sea bass. They're like, oh, I'm on my 5th grouper or something. I don't know. They were all like going crazy about how much they were catching. I was like, I've caught nothing. But then everyone got super excited. One of our good family friends caught a giant grouper. Not like a giant grouper, but like a good size grouper. All the family members had made this bet, whoever catches the biggest fish in length gets, like I think it was $50. Immediately all of us thought, okay, yeah, this dude just won the bet. He just caught this giant grouper. I mean, it's over. A few hours later into the trip, some people are catching 2 fish on 1 line. You know, they're catching all this other stuff. I caught maybe in total about 4 black sea bass, which wasn't very exciting, but we fished for about 3 hours. Once that was over, we then began trolling, which means basically you ride around with your rods out in the water in the back and you're trying to catch some big fish. My friend Asalyn, if you guys know her, this is actually the first time I had ever met Asalyn. Me and her are like really good friends now. She actually filmed a video on this. If you want to check it out, I'll also link the rest of the video down below. But she caught this bonita, and she was the first one to use the rod. She's reeling it in, and it's a really tough time to reel these kinds of fish in. I had no idea how tough it was gonna be. So she's got a group of people around her. She's reeling in this fish, and all of a sudden she pulls it out of the water and half of its body is gone. Obviously there was some sort of fish that was eating away at the bonita as we had been catching it, and so that was just a really gnarly thing to see. Especially there's blood all over the boat, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this really just happened. We get a really good feel for the trolling. We have everyone on the boat take turns as far as who's reeling in the fish, and you know, I caught a few. I think I caught like 3 king mackerel. One of our family friends who caught that grouper, which I explained to you earlier, he caught a really nice Spanish mackerel. So this is just a quick clip of the Spanish mackerel that one of our family friends caught that day. And in this clip, you'll see this is probably my second king mackerel I caught for that trip, which was an awesome experience. I mean, as you can see on this particular trip, we were just catching king mackerel right after the other, and it was insane, really, for our first time deep sea fishing. Well, then towards the end of the trip, basically the whole entire family had already caught at least a king mackerel, and so we were now on our second round of who was going to be catching these fish. And all of a sudden, the rod tip just goes like almost straight down. It was crazy. Everyone on the boat was freaking out. They're like, holy crap, this is a giant fish. And we were all trying to decide whose turn it was going to be able to go catch this fish. And immediately, everyone chose Holly. Holly runs up there, she's got the strap around her back, and she is reeling in this fish, and she is just having a tough time. It took at least 4 people to help her reel this thing in. So everyone on the boat was yelling shark. She must have caught a shark. Something is going on. She had to have caught a shark. And so we are reeling in, the whole family is really helping her reel this fish in. Maybe 20-25 minutes into this fight, the line pops, and the entire family just is like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Funny thing is, she's not really even into fishing, and she almost caught the biggest fish of the day. But she does enjoy this charter because they do everything for her, and she doesn't like touching the fish. So all in all, everyone was freaking out because they thought they were gonna lose their bet money to this 14-year-old girl. A really funny story, a really fun trip for the entire family. And overall, if you have the chance to go on a deep sea fishing charter, I 100% recommend it. I think it is just an awesome experience, especially to people who are more familiar with freshwater fishing, because it's like a whole different world. It's really an eye-opening experience for someone like me who's a more avid bass fisherman than they are, I don't know, bonita and king mackerel fishermen. Like I said, if you guys want to see a full video on the actual trip, I will link it down below. You've seen a few clips from the video, but I will actually link the entire video from Asalyn's channel down in the description. If you want to check that out, go ahead and subscribe to her channel too. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below any video suggestions you might have. And you guys know the drill. Adventure awaits. Stay
oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always repping. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I've been the coast's greatest blessing. Better recognize a king when he rapping with you. You hoes suck, it's like you always bring a vacuum with you. Solid like a mannequin, but you ain't plastic, is you? Cause if you got a bone to pick, I got a matching issue. Talking about me, then it gotta be lies. Cause I never get a tag or a chance to reply. If you don't got the courage to mention me, then you self with your phone until the battery dies. I mean, you mad at me, why? Cause I had to be fly. 2 albums in a year and I can't even try. Tried to fill my shoes, then you had to resize. I'm the king on the throne, bitches, where I was.